Both. It is a joint session sponsored by Consulate General of India, New York, and the Balaji Temple in Bridgewater. And we have Bala Andra Piale and then Satyanath Vare, our chairman, Bapinaru Kuchipuri, and Mani Vardhan and Meena Shankar will basically monitor the chat box. And also we have got Radhakrishna Nalamala and Sailaja Ghantasala, as well as Harigaru Tamalla from the temple, representing the temple. So with that, I like to request Chairman Garu to invite our invited guest, please. Chairman Garu, go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening. I welcome Shatrugna Sinha, Deputy Consulate General of India, and Murugeshan Ramaswamy, Consulate Passport Officer. And it's certainly a very important topic because a lot of our Indian community travel to India. Unfortunately, because of the COVID, there are so many travel restrictions, and we're hoping for a better days and better time so that we can visit Mother India. And we have our roots there, and no tree can forget its roots. So we have part of the attachment. Most of us here are US citizens, and this is the place we got adopted, but that's the place we were born. And with that note, I thank both of you to address our community, and I hope these regulations will be a little more easier to pass through the immigration system in India. And I thank you all for joining this meeting. God bless you all.
Thank you, Bapinaru Garu. Thank you very much. With that, Sinha Saab and Ramaswamy Saab, we basically floor is at your place now. Please go ahead, and we'll go over the question after your explanations.
Thank you, Nirenji. Thank you for having us. Thank you for giving this opportunity to interact and engage with you, and also address a few queries. Very shortly, my colleague Murugeshan will give you an overview of the consular issues. But let me tell you that since March of last year, when the pandemic lockdowns and restrictions started in New York, it was only for a few weeks during the initial phases when this consulate was closed because of the enforced lockdown by the New York City government. However, after that, since May onwards, this consulate has been serving the people every day. When I mention every day, I also include the weekends. Our people have taken a lot of responsibilities. They have gone beyond the call of their duty to come to the consulate and provide services. You may also note that the last 1 year has been very difficult. I understand most of you would be working from home, but our staff members, our officers were here to assist people in distress, to help stranded Indians. We are very proud of that achievement. Regarding travel restrictions, the travel restrictions from India on visas are still there. The OCI card holders and the Indian passport holders can travel back to India. For anyone else with an existing tourist visa, they need to come to us and apply for an emergency entry visa. The details are there on the website. You can very easily go there and visit and apply for those visas if needed. Considering the circumstances, I would advise you to travel to India only during emergencies, and then also while applying, produce the emergency papers. The passport services and OCI services are running normal. We have had issues because of the new service provider VFS took over the work of CKGS, which was our previous service provider. They did it in November, right in the middle of the pandemic, and we had challenges because it was a new service provider. There were several COVID outbreaks in the offices. However, we are happy to note that we have streamlined a lot of the processes, and we are almost running very smoothly. So on that count also, I don't see much of a problem. I understand today you will have a lot of queries and questions on various issues. We are here to address those queries. But before that, I would request my colleague Murugesan to also give a presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Nirenji, for organizing this event. And we would like to thank you, Hindu Temple and Cultural Society, also for this. At the outset, let me begin by a presentation. Hopefully, after this presentation, a lot of questions will be answered. But even if there is any question, we are here to answer the same. Just give me a few seconds to set the screen sharing. I'll see.
Can you share that?
Balagaru, they can share it, right? Oh, yes.
Joining Nikki, okay, meeting.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay. As you see in your screens, I hope everybody is able to see the screen. This is regarding the visa. All existing visas have been restored, except for the tourist visa. So people who have 10-year tourist visa, they cannot travel on that visa. They have to take emergency entry visa. As for the emergency entry visa, we receive, if there is a death in the family, please come to the consulate between in the morning 9 to 11:30, and we will issue the visa on the same day by 4:30, or even earlier if it is possible, if it is not crowded. Of course, if there is an emergency during the weekends, please call us the number that is being displayed on the screen to take an appointment, to fix an appointment, so that the timings are confirmed and everybody just comes, fix up the appointment and takes the visa. So on holidays also, we give the emergency visa if there is a death case happening in your family. And as you can see, all e-visas have also been restored except for the e-tourist visa. Please note that e-tourist visa is still not restored. And the government authorized site is indianvisaonline.gov.in. The link is being displayed on your screens. Please note down the link. This is the genuine link. Don't go to any other link for applying e-visas. Of course, all the procedure, both e-visa and what we call paper visa, is available in our website, indiainnewyork.gov.in. If you go to that website and go to the visa tab, you have all the procedures, fees, documents required explained in detail. I would request all of you to please go there and have a look. If you have any query, instead of asking one of your friends, because maybe he will not be knowing the latest information. He may not be having the latest information. And all other visa applications other than death cases have to be mailed, because right now the walk-in services are not started yet. So non-emergency visas, please just mail us the visa form and we will issue the visa. Coming to OCI, there were a lot of questions. The questions that has been sent, we have seen that most of the questions are on OCI. So let me make it very clear OCI card holders are required to get their OCI renewed only once. This is the new change. Please note that the OCI card has to be renewed only once when they reach the age of 20. Not before that, not after that. They don't have to be renewed. As per the latest guidelines, only once OCI card has to be renewed if they after the age of 20. In case the OCI is issued after the age of 20, then no renewal is required. And of course, the next, before the age of 20, you have to just upload the information on the web page portal ociservices.gov.in. The module is getting developed, and we understand that by June that module will be ready. So you don't have to renew it. You have to only upload your passport information on that module. And once after the age of 50. So you have to just upload it. You don't have to renew it. Please note this. I mean, there is a lot of confusion whether it has to be renewed, whether it has not to be renewed. No renewal is required. Only the information has to be uploaded on the portal. And again, all the OCI card holders who fall under the age of who fall under the category of reissue, they can also still travel without renewing till December 31, 2021. So nobody is required to renew their OCI as such. They can travel. If there is an immediate emergency and they have to travel, yes, they can travel. Even if their OCIs are not renewed, if in case they fall under the renewal category. And they can travel up to 31st December 2021. Of course, as for the timeline, a lot of people have asked, what is the timeline for OCI? The OCI, on receipt of the consulate, we deliver it within 3 weeks. But subject to all documents in order, and we receive the completed application in the consulate and registered at the consulate. This is for the fresh OCIs. We issue after 21 days, which is taken for mandatory security clearances. And we are on time. As for the renewal, it just takes 2 days. Like if it comes today, it goes out tomorrow. So renewal, if anybody falls in the renewal category and they want to renew it, at the consulate, we take only 2 days to renew it. Once the day it comes, we renew it, next day it goes to VFS. So there are not much delays, but the consulate should receive your application and all the documents should be in order. These are the 2 conditions. Coming to renunciation, again, we just process it in 2 to 3 days. Subject to all documents in order. And renunciation is one of the easiest things that we do at the consulate. As for the PIO, the doubt is there whether the PIO card holders can travel or it is valid. As of date, PIO cards are valid and they can travel till December 2021, 31st December 2021. But again and again, like we request PIO carders, please convert your PIO into OCI. We have been requesting this since 2005 or 10 onwards. All the PIO card holders, please, we are requesting again, change your PIO to OCI card. As for the passport, I have not received a lot of questions on the passport, but just for your information, the Tatkal applications which we received, it's processed on the same day in the consulate. Subject to, again, the documents in order. Tatkal applications, once received at the consulate, are processed on the same day. And few questions we saw whether B1, B2 visa holders can renew their passport. Yes, they can renew their passport, subject to they have filed for their extension and they can provide us I-797C copy. So we issue what we call a short validity passport. which is valid for 5 years. And a short validity passport can be issued to all B1, B2 visa holders, subject to they file for extension of stay here in US. And next is miscellaneous consular services, which is like power of attorney, attestation services. Presently, there is no walk-in service. We are not providing any walk-in service as of date, but all these services can be availed through the postal method. And of course, except for the life certificate applicants, we entertain it through walk-in, only for life certificate applicants. As for the procedure, fees, etc., please go to our website, indiainnewyork.gov.in, and go to miscellaneous consular tab. You will find all the detailed information there in our website. This definitely I would like to bring to your attention. Of course, people have seen that there are delays in delivery of passport, and most of them are not aware why the delay happens. So we analyzed at the consulate and we found out that most of the time in passport applications, the delay happens because they don't submit Annexure D. Annexure D is basically parental authorization. So in case of minor applicants, we have seen that most of the time, the Annexure D is not submitted. That is like almost 50% of the time in the deficiency applications. And sometimes they don't, 25% of the people don't submit their visa status. So these are to be notarized and sent to along with their application. Because they don't send it, the delay happens. And of course, in the name change, a lot of documents are required. Name change is not a routine passport procedure. There is a lot of documents required for the name change. And we have seen like 5% of people don't put the correct photograph. These photograph specifications are there on the website of both VFS and our own website. Please see the photograph specification and try to include the photographs as required or as specified in the document. We have seen like people just taking photograph with background, like, they take with their iPhone or smartphone and they just put that picture upload that picture on the form. No, that's not required. There are certain specifications that it has to be white background. So please follow that and your applications will not be delayed. Of course, divorce cases, in most of the divorce cases, we've seen that they don't put the divorce decree. So anything, we have to see the divorce decree in full. Please always, if you are applying for some service using the divorce decree, please put your full divorce decree. Other cases are delayed, of course, because of some court cases going on and they have some reason or the other, the applicant himself knows if there is any court case going against him or not. But these are very minor, only 2% of the cases are such cases. In the visa application forms, again, we have noted that it is because of the parental authorizations. People don't give parental authorizations or only one parent signs. Parental authorization is by both the parents. In visa applications also, we have seen that it is because of parental authorizations, the application gets stuck, and it is almost as 42%. And 30% people don't pay the fees correctly. The fees details are in our website. Please ensure that you send the correct fees, not less, not more. More we will return you. But if you send less, it's very difficult to process those applications. And we have surprisingly, we have seen that people apply for visa and they don't put their original passport. I don't know, it is a basic thing. If you want a visa, you have to give your passport to us to put the visa sticker on your passport. But we have noted in 17% of the cases, the visa, they don't send their original passport. Maybe
I think that is because many applicants would have applied to other countries where they follow a different process, where first an approval comes and then the consulates or the embassies ask for the original passport. In our case, we don't follow that model. Our guidelines are clear. the passports have to be attached. The original passport has to be attached with the visa application form.
And as the visa applications are processed directly at the consulate, we ask for a prepaid envelope. And in 11% of the cases, we have seen that they don't enclose the prepaid envelope. Then it becomes very difficult to send them, you know. These are the deficiencies for visa applications. And in OCI applications, there is a name change document affidavit required. Your name should be as exactly as in your passport. If there is a difference, then you have to submit a name change affidavit. And we have seen that 32% of the cases are because of that. The OCI is delayed because of that. And of course, marriage certificate is missing in 27% of the cases. The OCI card contains the spouse name. So it is mandatory that you provide the marriage certificate. And in most of the cases, we have noted that marriage certificate is missing. And of course, the Indian link has to be proved. In 20% of the cases, they have not put the Indian passport copies. We don't need the original Indian passport. We just need Indian passport copy. Of course, if you're attaching any foreign document issued by a foreign authority, it has to be apostille. And it's there in the checklist, but we have seen that 13% of the cases, they don't apostille the documents, they just put a copy. And of course, the parental authorization is less in the OCI applications, but we have seen even that has like 8% of the cases, they don't enclose parental authorization. And it's not notarized most of the time. Coming to miscellaneous applications, when we analyzed it, we have seen that the mandated documents that has to be notarized are not notarized. And the applicant just sends a copy to us. Please, when you go to our website, when you see the form, it gives you a checklist also saying that these documents are to be notarized and these documents are to be just sent a copy. Please ensure that when you send any application for miscellaneous consular service, the copies are notarized. The mandatory documents that has to be notarized are notarized. And in 29% of the cases, we've seen they don't enclose a visa status copy. You know, to avail the miscellaneous consular service, they have to put their visa status. And we just need a copy that has not to be notarized. We just need a copy. And again, fees. Fees, again, is a problem because if the fees is not correct, we cannot put it in our system and we cannot generate a receipt. So please ensure that fees are always correct so that we could generate the receipt.
Please note that for the miscellaneous applications, there is a provision to pay online as well. So if you pay online, the fees is automatically generated. So there is no scope of committing a mistake.
And of course, the prepaid envelope. Again, people don't enclose prepaid envelope to receive back their applications. This is something new which I would like to introduce in this thing, this conference. We have started a chat line, 24/7 chat line. It's called Ask Bharti. And general queries are answered at any time, like any point of the day. You just ask, the general queries are answered in this chat line. Please make use of it. And I think most of the queries will be answered here. In case your query is not answered, please write to us in Pramit. And Ask Bharti is a feature which we introduced recently 2 weeks ago, and we have seen almost on every day, almost 400 people have availed this service and have their questions answered in it. Thank you so much, and I hope it would have answered a lot of the questions, but of course, if there is any question, we are here to answer.
Thank you very much, Ramaswamy-ji, and also Sinha sir. This is a really great explanations and all the processes. We do have a lot of questions actually coming from a chat also. We will cover that one. And if you are okay now, we'd like to basically go with some of the submitted questions first. And I'm going to screen on the real time, yes, since you already have answered some of the questions. So it may be somewhat a little bit duplicate, but I'm going to try my best so that at least we don't ask the same question that you already answered it. Can I go with that, please?
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So the first question is, process for OCI when we change the home address or get a new passport, do you have to renew it again?
So Murugesan already explained, earlier there was requirement of reissuance of OCI cards, which was kind of complex, and people had a lot of confusion because between 20 to 50 there was no requirement of a renewal. Before 20, every time you used to get a new passport you had to renew it, but all that has been done away with. Now anyone who has acquired a passport as a minor, as someone who was less than 20 years of age, they need to renew it after they acquire a new passport, after they attain the age of 20. So if someone has got an OCI card at 17 years of age and gets a new passport at the age of 27, then that person needs to get a new OCI card. Apart from that, anyone who has acquired an OCI card after attaining the age of 20, then there is no requirement of renewal of OCI card any time during their life. However, whenever you get a new passport, those details have to be uploaded on the MHA OCI portal, the Ministry of Home Affairs OCI portal. So that portal details, portal facility will be available soon. And in that case, if you get a new passport, but if you want to travel with the old OCI card without renewing it, then please upload the new details. This is a free of cost service. So basically, the bottom line is there is no requirement of OCI card renewal if you have got OCI card after 20 years. In case you have got your OCI card before you attain the age of 20, then please renew it once in your lifetime after attaining the age of 20. That is the most simple explanation.
Okay. How about the home address change?
Home address change is not required in an OCI card. If a person moves from one home to another, it's not mandatory. But if you really wish to have your new home address in your OCI card, then of course you have to apply for renewal of your OCI card.
Thank you. Next one. You did, Murugesanji, you actually did mention about 50 years of age and also the 20 years of age. What is that? I think it was second bullet item on OCI. What was that again? Because one.
So Nirenji, I just explained that all those things are a thing of the past now. So okay. Now only after someone attains the age of 20, someone who was a child and acquired an OCI card. Right. Now, when he or she turns 20 and gets a new passport, then that person will need to get a new OCI card. Anyone else who has got the OCI card after turning 20, they don't need to renew OCI card at all.
Okay. One of the question was that if I have lost my passport, what should I do?
Yes, please go ahead.
So if lost, you can apply under lost category. That's it. I mean, that simple.
Okay, that's
called... apply passport under lost category.
Okay.
So for lost passports, the first most important step is to go to the police station and report that loss
and get a police report.
And with that police report, you can apply on our website, on the BFS website, for renewal of the lost passport.
Okay, good enough. I'm skipping one question. This is already answered. So the next one will be, when will the travel from India to US start again?
So travel from India to the US is under the control of the US government. This consulate doesn't have to do anything with that. The US government has imposed certain restrictions since May 4th, I think. And those restrictions will definitely be reviewed by the US government. Those restrictions were imposed apparently in response to the virus, the sudden outbreak which we had last month in April and May. And as the US government will review that, I'm sure the travel will be normalized, but we cannot speak on the behalf of the US government.
Thank you. Next one is actually related to the VFS. One of the participants wrote it here. He basically gave the lost passport renunciation, birth certificate, marriage certificate, 10 years of visa copy, still asking for Indian passport again by VSF. And he also spent some money there, and nothing has been happened yet. So can you maybe very
I understand.
specific?
I understand he has applied for OCI, right?
Yes.
So if he has given his passport details, then VFS should not ask for Indian passport again. I'm not aware of this particular case. If he or she is not satisfied with the VFS processing or response, then please write to us. We will take a look. Unless we see the application number and see what VFS has asked for, I will not be able to give a firm response. But I promise that we will definitely look into it. Please write to us. Our emails are there on the website. We will take a look and we will respond to you.
Thank you very much. That's a very good response. On the one of the other question, next question is, I'm trying to basically, delete all the question in my mind while I'm reading it also. That's why it is taking some time. Can we make the OCI process a little bit simpler? Because, obviously there are lots of pages of application has to be filled up. Say, at least for the people who has the passport, who has got all the documentations and the visa itself, can we make the OCI process further simple, or this is as best as we can get now?
No, the OCI process, we have heard the feedback from the people, and over the years our response we have used that feedback to simplify the OCI processes. I'm not sure whether the person who has written to you has applied really a couple of years back. Then it was more cumbersome. We have tried to simplify it, and I think we have simplified it a lot. However, there are still some technical issues which we have, which we are, trying to rectify, and we have given our feedback to the government. But one must note that the OCI card is a very important document. It gives you the right to remain in India for as long as you want. It gives you the right to pursue any profession within India. So it's just like the green card here in the US, and more than the green card, because even green card needs renewal, and OCI card holders don't even need to renew the OCI cards now. So I would request some patience, especially on the question of documentation. Our documentary requirements are there, and please respect those documentary requirements, because we have our own processes. However, regarding the online filling of the form, we'll be happy if you give us a feedback so that we can further improve it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but again, I would like to say that if I don't know how many people have seen the OCI form, it's just a 2-page form. If you print it, it's just a 2-page form. This is that simple. But definitely we would like to make it more simpler, but it's not more than 2-page information that is sought.
I think it has to do with the reducing attention span of people. Even 2 pages of application seem a big task, but it doesn't matter. We are open to suggestions and feedback. If there is a constructive feedback, we'll definitely take it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, basically it's a good thing that at least Indian community can provide the feedback to you on that one. That's great. Do you have any idea or estimate when the tourist visa will be, general tourist visa will be again restored?
This is
time frame.
This is a question for which I don't have any answer. But let me tell you that the e-visas are available now. The e-tourist visa is not available. However, e-business visa and employment visa and any other kind of visa, you can go to the e-visa website directly, and you don't even need to come to the consulate. For anyone else, the tourist visas have been suspended. I'm sure at some stage the decision will be reviewed and the tourist visas will also be opened. But that depends on the trajectory of the virus. That depends on our vaccination efforts. So there are different factors which will go into that decision, and that decision will be taken by Government of India at some stage. Right now, if someone wants to travel to India in an emergency, then please go to our website. Our guidelines are very clear. If you are, you can send your applications by post. If there is a real emergency and there is a death in the family, you can come to the consulate in person, and we will issue you the visa the same day.
Thank you very much. You already answered the questions about when we can upload the passport copy. That's basically probably you are saying about end of the June it should be okay, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And one attendees wrote here that generally you suggest that as soon as somebody get the new passport, US passport, they should apply for OCI within 3 months. So it's not the mandatory, they can actually apply for any time, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, the OCI card OCI card is not a mandatory document. You can choose to have an OCI card, you can choose not to have an OCI card. Even without OCI card, you can get a visa and travel to India. But as I told earlier, OCI card gives a lot of privileges and perks. So it is in your interest to apply for OCI card. Just for example, take the present situation. People with OCI cards can travel to India without any hassle, without asking anyone. However, those who don't have OCI cards, they need to apply for an emergency visa at the consulate.
Thank you. On the Indian passport, if a resident is basically permanently residing in the US, should they change the Indian address in the Indian passport to the US address?
Which one? Passport? Oh, yeah, passport.
Yeah, Indian passport. They have got an Indian address now.
There are two addresses to be given, one Indian address and other one can also be Indian or foreign address. And you can choose which one you want to be printed in the passport. It asks for printable address. Okay. So you can choose whatever printable address you want in the passport.
So there is no harm for keeping the Indian address in the Indian passport?
No issues on that.
Not at all.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going fast here. One other thing is that basically, portal, you already answered about the portal case. On the fee, there's a 275 fee there as well as 15 for the processing. Instead of sending the 2 check, can we send the 1 check itself?
I think this is OCI, right?
Yes.
OCI card, I think what he or she wants to convey is for renunciation, there is a different fee, and for OCI card, there is a different fee. But these are 2 different services. So one can choose to have to renounce the Indian citizenship without applying for OCI card. However, for applying for OCI card, you need the renunciation certificate. So if someone wants to apply at the same time, I would request just to wait for some time, because right now it is not possible. We have asked VFS to come up with a solution where people can apply for both renunciation certificate and OCI card at the same time concurrently. However, at present, anyone who wants to apply for OCI card first needs to renounce the Indian citizenship. They need to first get a renunciation certificate and then apply for the OCI card.
Yeah, probably I did not explain to you correctly. That's basically 200.
Again, I mean, the online facility is also there in the VFS website, so they can pay the fee online also.
Okay. Yeah.
If not through check.
No problem at all. The question was basically 275 application fee and $15 service fee. Why we cannot pay together $290?
So yeah, I think he's talking about the VFS service fee.
I think so. Yes, right.
But I don't know whether they charge separately. Only one payment needs to be done.
Okay, that's nice to know. That's a clarification. Thank you. Okay, then again, there is the VSF issues. Right now, VSF, one of the, there are several questions came in the same category, Sinha Sahab. One is that, if we call the VSF, obviously they seems to charge the credit card charge for the call. I didn't know about myself. And then, but however, if you write to them, they are always vague while they are responding it. So ultimately somebody will have to call it and they have to pay for calling. So that's why that is the case. Why we cannot get the response directly in details, what they need, what they are coming, what we're lacking of the application, so that at least the respondent can provide everything correctly by writing itself instead of having calling them.
So VFS the response system has been an issue, and I will be very frank with that. However, in response to that, they had increased the number of minutes for free call, and that had been there for 10 minutes for very long. Now they have reduced it to 5 minutes. I don't think that there is anything which cannot be conveyed within the first 5 minutes of the free call which VFS offers. If someone needs more time than 5 minutes, then it is better to write an email to VFS or to us and then get a response rather than be on the call and pay for those call charges. Regarding the VFS response system, if there is a particular complaint, if there have been cases where people have been charged exorbitant amount, we have reached out to them and we have asked VFS to compensate the applicant if the charge is unreasonable. But I don't know this particular case. If there has been a problem with VFS response, then please write to us. We can take it up with VFS again.
Thank you. That's the probably response that the sender thought of getting it. That's a very good response. Thank you. Okay, you already answered how long the OCI card is valid. That is done. You already answered about the age restriction. That is also done. Do you need the OCI for newborn baby or? Sinha Sahab? Hello? Uh-oh.
Yeah, we can hear you, Niranjan.
Okay. Do you need the OCI for newborn baby?
Yeah, we issue.
So unless the application is submitted, we will be unable to issue the OCI card.
So, okay, thank you. So basically it is needed, that's fine. And this is again related to the VSF. What is the rationale behind charging people for calling the VSF support center? There's already a process.
Yeah, so that is a very pertinent, relevant question. VFS charges certain application fee, and that fee, as you would note, is quite nominal. It is just $15 per application. And when you consider the investments which they have made in the infrastructure and the amount of the number of people they have hired and the amount of work which they need to do to process these applications, I think that is quite reasonable.
Okay.
So this call center, running a call center, of course, entails some expenditure. So the idea was to make it separate from the VFS application service fee, so that those who don't need those call center services need not pay for this extra. It could have been easier for the government to include that call center charges inside in the application fee, and that application fee would be charged for everyone. But we have tried to keep the application fee low, and only those who need to reach out to the call center, they need to pay, and that also when you have already exhausted the 5 minutes. So moreover, I would also like to mention that in case someone needs assistance in filling up the form about how to register and how to go about it, and which documents to upload, that service is being provided by VFS for a flat fee of $20. If you opt for that fee, if you opt for that service, VFS will give you a call, and all they take the responsibility of ensuring that you have all the queries answered. So I would also, those who are finding it difficult to fill up the form, or they need to call the call centers for various clarifications, it's better to use that service as well. No, not that I'm advertising for them. Those who don't need those services, please fill up the form online yourself. It is not very difficult. I must assure you that it looks difficult from the outside, but once you start it, it is not a Herculean task. If you can't do it yourself, please take the help of your family member, your friend. It is a doable thing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for that alternative option. Actually, I myself didn't know about it. Okay, so one gentleman wrote here, my passport expired this is Indian passport, October. Can I apply it somehow for renewal?
Yes, of course you can apply. He should apply.
Here, I would like to add here that you can apply for renewal of passport even if your passport is not expired like before 1 year. So if your passport is expiring in 2023 January, you can apply in 2022.
I will just add something to that. If there is some requirement for renewal, for example, someone wants to add a spouse name or wants to change the address in the passport, you can, for those modifications, you can apply anytime whenever, you need to apply for renewal. If you feel that you need to apply for renewal, go ahead.
Thank you. Can we get an Aadhaar card using OCI?
Well, Aadhaar card, if you see the facilities, the facts behind the Aadhaar card, you will notice that Aadhaar card is given only to those who are residents.
Hello, can you put on the mute, please, if you are not talking? Go ahead, please. Sorry, Senator.
Yeah, so Aadhaar card is issued to only those who are residents of India. People who stay within India, whether they are Indian nationals or they're foreign nationals, that doesn't matter, but we issue them the Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card is a proof of residency. So if someone has an overseas citizen of India card, if that person lives within the US, then you are not eligible for Aadhaar card.
Thank you. Okay. This is another issue about VSF charges in one case here, twice for shipping. Can they get the money back, and whom should they call or write to?
VFS helplines and email complaint, grievance redressal emails are available on the website. If that problem persists, if they are still not getting their refunds, then please write to us. We can take it up with VFS.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question? Excuse me.
Not in the live, please, because we're selecting the question we already previously submitted. Then once we have finished, then if we have a time, then we'll enter in others.
Okay. I have a very unique question. Then without all this thing, please, last, can you give me a chance? It is not about this thing and all that. It's about the completely different question. And I have been having problem with my husband. So if I can have the chance to speak to the ambassador, I would really appreciate.
Can we hold it for time being, please? We'll be done in this set of questions. Then
yes, please. But
thank you. Okay. For the children born in US, do they need to renew the OCI? No, you already answered that questions. When the government of India will have dual citizenship status, or will they?
No. I don't think that this proposal is under consideration right now.
Okay. This is again, Indian passport issues. Somebody's passport expired a few years ago. They can still apply it, right?
Yes, they can apply.
Okay, thank you. So we don't need to renew OCI. That question doesn't apply here. Do I have to carry my, okay. Do I have to carry my old passport while traveling?
You know, what he really means is probably he's traveling with a new passport, and he's on the OCI card, the old passport number is mentioned. So that requirement has been done away with. You don't need to carry your old passport, but at the same time, I'm repeat it again, the details of your new passport need to be uploaded on the OCI portal. If you don't upload it and travel, don't have the old passport, then you may land into trouble.
No problem, thank you. Why OCI holder doesn't have to pay the extra, while Indian visa holder has to pay extra for special visa?
Which extra fees?
Well, basically the meaning is that since the tourist visa is on hold now, so everybody will have to pay for the special visa. But if you have an OCI card, you don't have to pay anything. Once you pay it, then you can still use it. Like you said, up to December 21st, at least.
That is the privilege OCI card holders get.
OCI card holders don't need to apply for the visa, so they will pay zero fee.
I know. No, they are basically talking about special visas that is comparing with the OCI versus special visa. Anyhow, so what you are saying that is the advantage of the OCI card holder.
There is no, that question is in fact wrong, because the OCI card holder has the OCI card. He can travel without visa. So there is no question of any dual fees being charged, because that person is not applying for visa at all.
Okay. No problem. So one other, there's two questions here. One is actually very general, nice questions they ask. Let me read it because this is important for all of us. All of us see mainly the negative coverage by the American media, all the New York, Washington Post and New York Times, etc., for the pandemic situation in India. However, we do not see any comments or replies from the Indian embassy in either the news item itself or later in the letters to the editor. What's the reason? Basically, the gentleman is asking, or whoever giving, they're asking.
No, I get his question. We remain engaged with the US media. I would not say that we don't talk to them. We brief them. We give them our points of views. But they have their own ideas. They have their own sense of what is happening, and then they go by their own views. Factual corrections, we definitely make it a point to tell them that if there is some fact which is being misrepresented, they acknowledge. Sometimes they make changes in the online editions. But at the same time, if someone feels strongly about negative perception being propagated in the US media, you are free to write yourself. Government of India, Government of India's representatives, if we write, then it will be Government of India's views. That will be a part of the article, not as as a rebuttal. So you are also free to engage them and write to them if you feel strongly about anything which is being misrepresented.
Thank you. This is actually interesting questions. So people already have a 10 years visa, tourist visa, obviously that is on the hold now. After the pandemic, those visa, can it be extended automatically, or otherwise it is reinstated? They don't have to apply for another visa, right?
If the visa has expired, then they need to apply for another visa.
But no, for 10 years visa, if the visa has not expired and you actually reinstate after the pandemic, then they don't have to do anything. They can actually go to India.
Yeah, it will be restored. The valid visas will be restored.
Okay, but it will not be extended for a time that they could not visit to India for 1.5 years. Hey,
no, I have no answer to that, please.
Okay. Thank you. Does PIO card convert to CIO automatically?
No, you have to apply for conversion from PIO to OCI card. I would strongly encourage anyone who has PIO card to get it converted to the OCI card.
Okay. This is another interesting about marriage certificate requirement. I'll have to read it because it is very complete questions. I was unable to get the Indian OCI because I did not have the marriage certificate. I married 50 years ago, and that time probably it was not, wife's name probably was not in a passport or so. But my wife's Indian passport renunciated has my name on it as a husband, and she has the OCI. Is that good enough as a marriage certificate with renunciated passport?
Absolutely, absolutely. If the wife already has an OCI card, then the husband is entitled to an OCI card. It should apply.
See, again, OCI card is given to a person who has Indian link. So if he can provide, and marriage certificate, again, is not an Indian link. If he has your Indian passport, again, he can also apply under foreign spouse category. His wife has Indian passport at one point of time, so he can still apply under foreign spouse category. So the options are there. Like, it's not that marriage certificate is not there, so he cannot get an OCI.
Very good.
Marriage certificate would have been asked, but that is no ground for rejection if the wife already has an OCI card that it establishes her Indian ancestry.
Okay. The next one is also interesting. If a wrong entry is made by Office of Consulate General of India, why the office is not correcting it without any charge to cardholder?
Yeah, if we make a wrong entry, I assure you that we will correct that without charge, gratis. But let me tell you, all your applications are processed on the basis of data which you have filled. Whatever you filled in the form, only that data gets transmitted into your passport, OCI, or visa. So I am reasonably confident that the mistake has been committed by the applicant and not the consulate. However, if you feel that it is our mistake, then it has to be proved. We have to see whether we made any changes.
Okay. Thank you. No, that's a good response. Okay, this is again related to the VFS. Gentleman wrote here, VFS is a history of the data breaches and other stuff. So question is basically, how a consulate can guarantee the privacy or private information security issue from the VFS, based on their private historic record.
I don't know whether that person is an American national or Indian national. Do you have any information?
No,
in any case, adequate. I would like to just mention here that adequate checks are there in the agreement, so they don't have to worry about the privacy details being breached or anything. There are inbuilt precautions taken in the agreement itself. There are provisions to take care of these privacy violations.
VFS is a company which is the largest service provider in this field. I mean, VFS doesn't deal only with India. It deals with many other countries, and it is a leader in this outsourcing service provider, for passport and visa processing across the world. So they're best in the business. I mean, of course, they have faced issues here in New York because of various reasons, but I think they would take adequate precautions to prevent anything which compromises on the data security. If as Murugesh pointed out, there are in the contract which we have signed with VFS, there are checks and balances there as well. So I don't feel any issues regarding privacy breach. However, if the person is still not convinced, then he is free not to apply for any services with the Consulate General of India.
Okay. So the next one, can a OCI holder buy or sell or rent property in India?
Yes, OCI card holders are treated at par with resident Indians, the Indian citizens. They can buy or sell or rent property, ancestral property. However, there is a restriction. The restriction is on agricultural land. You cannot buy or sell agricultural land, including farmhouses.
Okay, thank you. Next one. How to correct wrong name in OCI? Is it required to be corrected or apply again?
You have to apply again for renewal of the OCI card with the correct name, providing all the documents that, yes, along with the name change affidavit. Those things can happen easily, no problems.
Okay, there are some, I just want to let you know so that the people who are hearing that we as a temple, we are not missing any questions here. There are questions related to H4 and F1 and green card. I did not bring that issue up because that is not probably purview of consulate. Am I correct?
Yes, the visa issues, US visa issues have to be addressed by the US government. Consulate General of India doesn't play any role in that.
Yeah, we just don't want to miss it. That's why I just want to let everybody know. Then what is the procedure for visitors from India? Oh, you already answered that question before. Should I answer?
Niranji, I think some people would have questions and then we should respect their presence here. We can open the floor for some questions.
Sure. There are some chat questions also. Can we go over that one quickly? Maniji and Minaji?
Sure. Sure. There are a couple of questions about the PIO card. Can we still travel to India with a valid PIO card? Is it still a valid document? And what is the validity date now?
So PIO cards are still valid, but as I told initially, PIO cards need to be converted to OCI. It's especially important because many of these PIO cards are handwritten documents, and the International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO) they have refused to respect those handwritten documents for very long now. So it is important in the interest of the person himself to convert it into an OCI card, which is machine readable.
Okay, the next question is regarding passport renewal, can we update address using spouse's Aadhaar address and submit spouse Aadhaar as proof, as the primary person's Aadhaar cannot be updated from outside of India? Can we please mute themselves?
Balagar, can we meet other people?
Yoga class. Okay, I'll try to mute one by one.
Okay, so did you hear Sinha Sahib?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. See, for renewal of passport, Aadhaar card is not mandatory. Please understand that if you read that column, the lines have to be read like properly. People don't read the column. They misunderstand that for renewal of passport, Aadhaar card is mandatory. It is not mandatory. You can just skip that step and go ahead and get your passport renewed.
Okay. And any other questions, Minaji? Minaji?
Can we apply for OCI with an expired PIO card?
Sorry, I didn't get the question, please. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the question is, can we apply for OCI with an expired PIO card? If the PIO card has expired, can we still apply for an OCI using
that will not be a conversion of PIO to OCI. That will be a fresh OCI application.
Okay. Another question is, I paid for a 10-year visa fees. They only gave me 6 months visa.
Presently, it's only the emergency entry visas being issued, and it is valid for only 6 months.
Okay, fair enough. Another question is, my kid's US passport is renewed, but OCI is pending for renewal. Can we travel to India without a renewed OCI card?
Yes, till December 31st, 2021, you can travel.
Okay. In one of your slides, you mentioned Pramit, P-R-A-M-I-T. There's a query about what is that?
Pramit is our dashboard. You can just ask any question and it will be answered on the same day or within 24 hours time.
Is there a fee for that?
No, zero fee.
Okay.
It's free.
The next question is there an age limitation for the visa validity? A few years ago, I applied for a 10-year visa for both me and my wife. My wife got 10-year visa, but I got only 5 years, although my US passport is valid for 10 years. The only difference was the visa expiration had a cutoff to my 70 years age.
Oh, there is no such limits, but probably he would have got visa for some other reason. So it has to be looked into, but there are no such restrictions.
Okay, that's nice to know. The next question is, I need to renew my daughter's passport in April. When can I renew her passport at the earliest? I think you answered that question, right?
Yeah.
1 year, right?
1 year before the expiry of passport, you can apply.
Right.
Anybody can renew it.
Great. For an OCI holder who needs the power of attorney, miscellaneous service, does the person have to mail in original OCI or just a copy would suffice to be mailed along with the power of attorney?
Okay. For all the miscellaneous consular service, we ask for only copies. We don't ask for the originals. Please don't send original. Only for the visa, we need original US passport. For miscellaneous consular services like power of attorney and other documents, we need only notarized copies, no originals. Here, I would also like to say, after taking the feedback from general public, even VFS has stopped taking US passports in original for OCI applications. They have to send only the passport copy. So it's slow going.
That's good to know. I think there were a lot of queries regarding that. So thanks for clarifying that. The next question is document self-attest. For getting an OCI card for my child who has a PIO card, the documents required are the child's US passport and PIO card. It is suggested that we need to self-attest the documents. Does it mean the parents can sign it or do they have to sign it in front of a notary?
No, I think he has to check the checklist again. I don't think so. It says self-attested. I think it says notarized, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
The next question is about a JPEG signature. They're asking you to clarify what that is.
That is for OCI filling up form. I think the signature needs to be uploaded. And for that, the format is JPEG, JPEG.
So JPEG is a digital format and you need to submit your digital signature.
Yeah.
Next question is, any travel relaxation inside India for vaccinated people traveling from the US to India?
So if you go to our website, you'll find a guide for international travelers. It is go to our What's New section, February 18, there is a guide for international travelers. Please follow those guidelines. Within India, I don't see any problem. However, before boarding the flight, you need to have a negative RT-PCR test report, and then you need to upload it on the portal, Air Suvidha portal. Then in India, you have to download the Arogya Setu app. So all those things are there in those guidelines. I would advise you to follow those guidelines.
Okay, and the next one is a comment, and I kind of agree with that. They're saying CKGS was courteous, professional, and prompt. Their charges were reasonable too. Could I ask why there is a change?
The company went bankrupt.
Okay, fair enough.
That is simple answer.
Okay, the next question is, in the checklist for renunciation in VFS website, they are asking us to upload digital photo, which is incorrect as per VFS checklist. Digital photo is required only for OCI.
We will have to look into it. We will get back. We'll contact VFS whether there's a problem with the checklist.
Okay. I think that's basically it. And if you want, we can open the floor to other questions that have not been
answered. I have 3 questions, but let's open the floor. Anybody else from the line itself? Anybody has any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Kindly ask one by one, please. Gitaji, go ahead.
Do I need to have a OCI to sell the property in India?
Yeah, OCI card holders, as explained earlier also, they can buy and sell properties in India.
If I don't have OCI, I will be able to sell or there will be a problem?
The foreign nationals have different regulations. They are primarily regulated by RBI guidelines, and you'll have to contact a lawyer to brief you on that. But OCI card holders are treated at par with Indian citizens.
Yeah, but I don't have yet. I will see, but that's what I am confused. That do I need to get to order?
Ma'am, we you really need to consult a lawyer on this. We will not be able to advise you on that.
Okay, lawyer here or in India?
If you are selling or buying in India, then of course in India you have to follow the rules.
I see.
The laws of India, not the laws of the US.
Oh yeah, I understand. Okay, so
Thank you,
you are not able to. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I have a question on the same line. I have a question on this one. Can I ask the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, my daughters, we have applied OCI card application 5 years back, and the application is abandoned at the step of when they ask the US passport supposed to be submitted, and the original PAO card supposed to be submitted to the Consulate General. So that is the step we abandoned that time actually. So what I'm supposed to do right now actually, if I want to get an OCI card for my daughters?
You yourself said that you abandoned the application process.
When I say abandoned, I got received a mail from the Indian Consulate General from the India saying that application is processed. The next step is you have to submit the US passports to the Consulate General and the PAO cards.
But you did. But
the step never went through after that. We never proceed after that. So what I'm supposed to do?
We will not be able to process that application. You have to apply again.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you, sir.
One by one, please.
Yes.
One by one. Chairman Garu, go ahead.
Okay. It is a general question with reference to from the introduction of the OCI.
I see.
Then there was a lot of jubilation among the Indian American community here about considering dual passport. And for a moment, they said, okay, they will allow only. I understand the Indian government problem because, it is difficult. But say, like most US citizens, a lot of them from Ireland and also from Israel have dual citizenships. And we thought the government will look into that. And it looks like it came very jubilant in the beginning, but later on it went down the drain. And I would like to get your thoughts on that.
No, Mr. Kuchipudi, thank you for raising this issue, but I would like to know from you, what is that you really want? I mean, if you want to become an Indian national, that I understand. But if you're an OCI card holder, everything is available apart from the fact that you cannot vote or cannot, buy or sell agricultural land. You can stay in India for as long as you want. You can do. And if your question is regarding why do other countries offer dual nationality, India does not. We have our own laws, and those laws have been made with our own background, our own history. So, till now we have OCI cards, which is as close to an Indian passport which we offer.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I have a question on the same line.
Okay, DCG, I have one question. Just now, Minaji asked for that PIO. The PIO card expired last October, but in between CKGS and VFS, they say do not send PIO card or anything for renewal or anything. So can we send for that PIO card now to transfer to OCI?
So I just checked with our consul CPV Murugeshan ji. He says that if it expired last October, we can consider it as conversion of PIO to OCI.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Naranji.
Thank you. Sir, quick question.
Hey,
hello.
I have one question.
I have a question.
Hello. Yeah, go ahead, please.
I have a question.
Itaji, can you hold it because let other people get a chance? Thank you.
Sure. Hello, can I ask my question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi. Good evening. Actually, I have applied, my passport renewal on March 24. But it's almost going to complete 3 months. But I didn't get any. I didn't get my passport. It's always saying like it is under process with consulate. Not sure when I will get it.
Can you write an email to passport.newyork?
Yeah, actually, a couple of times I have written, the email as well as, the Pranitro. So I raised the ticket also, but the same reply I got like, it is under progress. I'm not sure.
So, is there a change? Is there something which you need to be changed in your passport application?
No, nothing. I properly submitted without, with any whatever the requested. So
what is the reply you got in Pramit?
Pranit, they said it is under progress. That's it. Okay. Office has to look your documents. So this is what I got. Since 2 months, I know I'm getting the same reply.
You send your application number to Nirenji. He will share it with me. We'll get it done. We'll have to look into the problem.
Yeah, actually, and then the chat window also, I have added my application number.
Okay. What I'll do, Minaji, can you copy the number?
Yes, I have the number.
Okay, good. Okay, Jagan Bhai, we will do that. Thank you.
Okay, so
anyone else?
I have two other. Can I ask a small question? I have two other interesting questions on the chat. The first question is by somebody who says, we renewed our passport in New York, and every time we travel the world, our passport never gets scanned, and we have to go inside and they have to manually do the procedure. What is the reason? My husband's passport was renewed in India and his passport never had an issue. Please suggest something, and they've given them an email as well.
So I think there must be some problem in her passport. All the passports issued are machine readable, and they can be easily, there's a barcode and it can be easily scanned. So in her particular case, probably there is a problem.
So is there somebody she should get in touch with?
She should apply for renewal of her passport. That is the only solution I can think.
But there would be a fee for that, wouldn't there?
We don't grant free services to people normally. Unless there is a mistake on our side.
Unless the mistake is yours, you said, right?
Yes. So, sir, the product is owned by the Passport of India, right? So if there's a problem in the passport, then how it's going to be a fee? That's how I'm talking.
The passports get damaged. There are problems in the handling of passports. So that responsibility the consulate cannot take. If you're still not satisfied, please bring the passport and we'll see whether our scanners can read it or not.
Okay.
There's one more interesting question. It says, what happens to ancestral inherited agricultural land or farmhouse by an OCI holder?
You cannot buy or sell agricultural land.
So it is inherited. It's ancestral inherited property.
I'm not aware of inherited ancestral land. I think that person can own, but probably cannot buy or sell.
Because the OCI card will not be able to sell it because they cannot own agricultural land. Even if they inherit, they will not be able to sell it.
They cannot inherit.
So that means they don't get the inheritance. Who gets it?
I don't know who gets it.
Sir, I had the same question actually. Say if I become a US citizen and I have OCI card, what happens to the lands that my dad has? Like, can he write down my name?
You can buy or sell the residential property, but agricultural land you cannot.
Yeah, like say my dad is a farmer. Let's say he has 15 acres. When I'm a US citizen now, like, can he transfer?
I'm not in a position to advise you on what to do with that property. But I mean the rules are there, and there is an gazette notification from Ministry of Home Affairs which has again laid down the rules, which came a couple of months back, and that again reiterates the same thing, that the OCI card holders cannot buy or sell agricultural land, including farmhouses.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anybody else has any question, please?
Yeah, she mentioned that she had some questions, some very unique questions. Maybe she should ask now.
Sir, if I could just ask a simple question.
I just want.
No, wait.
Please allow her to speak. She has been waiting for long.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. Jaji.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, if somebody has left India in like 1950s, that time, like just after the India independence, and one-way document, and they don't have birth certificate and they don't have living certificate because never went to school. But father and mother is Indian, they have death certificate, they have their marriage certificate, and the person was married in India, so have their own marriage certificate too. But when applied for OCI, like 3 times, it was rejected. And I don't know why. They kept asking that submit the Indian passport, but 73 years old now, like never had Indian passport, travel with mother on a single document. So how do you apply for the OCI on that kind of case?
In those cases, no, our aim is to prove, to get a document which proves Indian ancestry. So that Indian ancestry is to be proved either through their own passport. If they don't have the passport, their parents' nationality. So if they have the documents which show that mother and the father, either mother or father, had Indian nationality, then we will consider that.
No, they had Indian nationality, but they, like in 52, they went to Singapore. And then they settle in Singapore and they hand over their Indian passport and got the Singapore citizen. So now they have a Singapore citizen, and that time they didn't have OCI and they passed away. My mother-in-law passed away, like she was in 50 and he passed. So now, like, we don't have no documents of that they are Indian origin. So is there any way to apply for OCI for like my husband, and he's like 73. When we apply for visa, like they give like 2 months visa. He had 10-year visa, but recently when that like 4 years back before the COVID, he got only 2 months visa going back to India. And like other people say, we have like house and everything there. So like 2 months visa is not enough. So how is that any way that can apply OCI? Now I have my OCI, and I heard that other gentleman's question that you can apply under wife's OCI, but it is valid also, or if something happened to me, then that OCI is not valid.
Oh, so you already have an OCI, so I don't see any problem
OCI
at all.
For me, because I'm from India, and
you're talking about your husband, right?
Yes.
You ask your husband to apply under the foreign spouse category.
Okay.
Your husband will get an OCI.
Okay,
I don't see any
they
problem.
will not ask Indian passport or anything, right?
No, if he asks for, if he is applying in the foreign spouse category, they will not ask for Indian passport because he would not have Indian passport.
Like we submitted like death certificates for my father-in-laws, like their marriage.
No, I'm really surprised, because if you had your own OCI card, your husband's OCI card should have been given. So, but I'm not sure your husband whether he submitted your OCI card as proof or not. If not, then we cannot have.
I don't know.
Please ask him. Please apply under foreign spouse category. Yeah. Under foreign spouse category.
Okay. I have one question.
And what? What if something happens to me? The OCI is still valid. It doesn't cancel that once I'm gone because it's under me. No.
May God give you a long life, ma'am. Nothing will happen to you. The OCI card will also remain valid after it is issued.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Singha, lately, if passport lost and renunciation is done under the lost passport, and that apply for OCI with birth certificate, marriage certificate, and 10 years visa after renunciation, still they rejected for OCI.
You're talking about declaration. There are 2 things. One is surrender certificate, which is done with your original Indian passport submitted.
No, lost passport, sir. Lost under lost
passport. So you didn't give the original Indian passport to cancel it. So you have been given a declaration. With declaration of renunciation, you cannot get an OCI.
What about the birth certificate, school living certificate,
for OCI,
marriage certificate?
Yes, other certificates and other documents are needed to correlate it, and OCA can still be issued, but we would be needing some more documents.
But same thing, Jay says, that person is now 60 years old. They don't have their parents' passport, but their own marriage certificate, school living certificate, birth certificate, 10 years visa, consulate already given under the declaration. So why they asking question for now Indian passport?
See, exactly I have to see the documents. Of course, because Indian lineage has to be proved, we have to see the documents, and only then I can answer. This is a very specific query.
Birth certificate prove it, school living, marriage certificate, all they say Indian, both husband and wife. And declaration is done. That time they submit all these same documents and they got 10 years visa also.
For 20 years visa, some renunciation was earlier was not required.
First the declaration, and after 2010, they're asking for declaration for visa, and 2018, they got the visa. So all the document is there, like three supported document, marriage certificate, birth certificate, and school living certificate, declaration, 10 years visa, that they're asking for checklist. Still they rejected, and now almost like 1.5 months, never returned the money. And we wrote to Pyramid 3 times, only reply that talk to VFS, and we spend almost $45 for each file, and still we are just nowhere.
Okay, let me just interrupt it here.
Nirenji, can you please check, get his application number and send it to us? We will check with VFS and...
do one thing, please. Please give your information in the chat box. Minagaru, please copy everything and let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else, please?
I have a quick question. Yeah, I do have a quick question.
Okay, please go.
Can I heard?
Okay, Harishji, go ahead.
Yeah. So my question regarding OCI, I understood the new process, and so there is something under construction. So we need to upload our US passport and photo after sometime July, once the online portal is available, right? So will we get any confirmation, and we need to carry that confirmation during the travel?
Yes, so you will. When you upload it, you will get some sort of confirmation from the website itself.
Sorry?
Yes, you will get a confirmation. Once you upload the documents, you will get a confirmation, and you don't have to carry it. For your own safer side, you can carry it, but it's not mandatory.
Okay. So my other question is regarding the passport renewal. So recently I'm reading some forums saying like while doing a renewal, if we mention the Indian passport address, it's going for a police verification. Is that the case? Why it is happening? Like when I did for my own passport, through CKJS, it never went for any police verification. Is that something new thing changed with the VFS?
No, it's... only those cases go for police verification for which we have we don't have a clear police report in our system. In case there is already a clear police verification report, which I suspect in your case there is already a clear police verification report, and that is why you got it renewed without any police verification. So in those cases, you need not worry. I mean, only when it is an old passport and there's a problem in the data and there is no police verification report available with us, then we will send it to police.
Got it. I mean, so what is the OCI portal you are...
Thank you, Harishji. Ravi Kumarji, go ahead.
In continuation to the same question that one gentleman has asked just now, my parents live here on green card and their passport has expired last year, and I could not go because of COVID to New York. I could not go there. But what is the... will there be any police investigation will be there in order to verify the address back in India, because they don't live in India anymore?
No, first of all, you should apply. They are on green card, right?
Yeah, they are on green card.
Okay, so if we already have a police verification report, then we will not send it for police verification.
Okay. So, should I apply online or should I go to New York? What is the best way to do it?
You first go and visit the VFS website. The guidelines are very clear. You have to apply online, then print it out, and then sign, and then send it by post.
Okay.
Thank you, Ravi Kumarji.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Please,
Yeah.
if you have asked a question before, please do not ask. Let other people have a chance, please. Go ahead.
Narenji, can we go ahead? Very quick question.
Yes. Go ahead.
Can we travel to India being a US citizen and have a valid visa, Indian visa?
Sorry?
Can we travel now to India being a US citizen, have valid Indian visa?
Which Indian visa you have? If you have a tourist visa, you cannot travel with that. You have to take an emergency entry visa.
Okay.
I have a question too. Hello.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Poonam.
The VFS website, we are planning to apply for OCI. Does it have to be done online or do we send everything by mail?
Sorry? The OCI?
For a new OCI. Do we do the forms online or do we send it by mail?
And the whole procedure is explained in VFS website.
Okay.
To quickly go through it, I'll just tell you, you had to fill the form online. You had to print the physical form, send the physical form to VFS by post.
Okay, all right.
So address is there also, Poonamji. Everything is actually addresses there.
Yeah, I have a question.
Thank you so much.
A quick question. So my daughter is almost nearing 20 years of age. And based on the fact that I need to convert her PIO to OCI, and if I understand it correct, if I do it before 20 years of age, it has to be renewed again after 20 years of age, right? So
yes,
right now on the website, it says the validity of the PIO card is the end of this year. Is there a chance that it is going to be extended beyond December 31st, 2021?
See, this extension is till 31st December 2020. And we don't know whether it will be extended or not. And ICO at any point of time can say that we don't accept these handwritten documents. Then it stops then and there. So there is no guarantee.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's why we request everybody to please convert your PIO to OCI as quickly as possible, as soon as possible.
Balagaru, you have a question?
No, please ask the question from people who have raised their hands. They have been waiting for a while. So,
okay.
Yeah, I have
I'm not seeing it actually. That's the problem.
You can look at the icons and see.
If you want, I can call on them.
Yeah, right, please.
I'm okay. Can Geeta Sunkavalli ask her next question next?
Yeah, I think she asked one time.
I am planning to bring my parents on August 14th. They have the valid visiting visa, 10 years visa. Is there any travel restrictions in August?
I understand your question is regarding travel from India to the US.
Yes.
Please follow US State Department guidelines. Please follow US travel advisories.
Okay. Thank you.
Next, can Ravi Erukula ask his question?
Hi, good evening. I have a quick question. I mean, you touched on this. My daughter turned 20 years of age, and she has got issued recently US passport. But somebody told me that if she can carry old passport and new passport, she doesn't need to renew the OCI card. Is that true?
Presently, she can travel with her OCI card and new US passport till December 31, 2021.
That I got it. But I mean, another question is that without renewing her OCI card, can she carry both old and new US passport and OCI card? Is that works?
Till December 31. I think I'm...
Okay.
You know, so you need to renew the OCI card on acquiring a new passport only after you attain the age of 20. Before 20, you can travel with your OCI card and the new passport. You know, old passports need to be carried just to be on the safe side. You can, the Government of India has given exemptions from carrying the old passport for some time. Once the portal is ready, the details of the new passport need to be uploaded, and then that will be mandatory. Right now, my advice to you is you should carry both the passports, unless it is too heavy.
After 21st December, then we need to have a new OCI card.
31st.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else, Minagaru? Minaji, do you have any other?
One last question.
Geeta ji and Ravi ji, can you please lower your hands? Akshaya ji, you can go next.
Yeah, I have renewed my daughter's passport 6 months back, but as per new OCI guidelines that OCI we can upload the documents within 3 months of renewing the passport. So what should I do if I have renewed 6 months back my daughter's passport?
No, if you have already renewed the passport, then once the portal is ready, you upload it. If it's not ready, you can still travel right now.
Okay, so even if I renewed my daughter's passport 6 months back, then I still can. No, I still can upload the document for
yes, still you
OCI
can
renewal.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Janani Mohan, you can ask your question next. And Akshay ji, please lower your hand.
Janani ji?
Janani Mohan ji? Do you still have a question? If not, let's ask Krishnamurthy Rangaswamy ji for his question.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I have a 14-year-old daughter who has a OCI card at present, and recently I renewed her US passport. So what is the procedure now? Should I renew her OCI card again, or what? I'm not sure because I'm a little bit confused on the process here.
After she attains the age of 20, a new OCI card would be required. Till that time, even with she can travel with her OCI card with the old passport number. However, the new passport numbers need to be uploaded on the OCI portal.
Okay, so the only requirement is that I need to upload the new passport details in the portal.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Santosh Kuntaji, you can ask your question.
Okay, if not.
Yeah, hi. My name is Santosh. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I have one question. I was renewing my daughter OCI card recently. So there is a section where we have to notarize on the 3rd page of the form, but there is no notary verbiage written there, and most of the people, notary public, are not willing to notarize such documents. So you have any suggestions?
Which document? Almost everybody is getting us the notarized documents. I don't know which document the notary is not ready to notarize.
Murugesan-ji, they are asking for last page when the child sign, and under that parent can sign the end of the application for OCI. That's the question look like.
Right. It's a 3rd page of the OCI form where we have to notarize under the signature, but there is no notary verbiage on the 3rd page. So most of these notary publics are not willing to notarize until there is a verbiage stating that, okay, there should be a verbiage, right?
What do you mean a verbiage? It should be written that notary public, right? That is what you mean.
Right. Yeah, yes. Yeah, because there are some forms like affidavit from parents, it has a proper verbiage there asking notary public to update their information and put a stamp. But this form doesn't have, and I had some challenges getting that notarized. So I just want to bring that to your attention.
Okay,
we'll see the form, but I don't think that the form would require a notary to sign it. The documents may require, but not the form itself.
No,
but really, in any case,
Santosh ji, you got to sign front of notary. Any notary can notarize. But if you take signature before, then nobody can notary for that page. You got to sign front of the notary. Then any notary can notarize.
Thank you. Mohan Sanathan ji. Hello, Mohan Sanathan ji, you have raised your hand.
Mohan Santnam.
Okay, then Kumar ji.
Hi, good evening. Yes, I have my OCI, which I am 51 years now. So whether I have to renew my OCI or I can travel, because I am going to travel to India next year, whether I have to renew my OCI or during passport renewal, I have to renew my OCI.
So if you got your OCI card after attaining the age of 20, which in your case, I suspect that is the case, you don't need to renew it again.
I got my OCI in 2018.
So you don't need to renew it again.
Oh, no need to renew. Okay, that will be fine. Thank you so much.
Before anybody goes, can some of the questions are answered many times. If you be kind enough to at least think about what has been answered, that way if you have a new question asked, that way at least all the meeting can be more effective. Thank you very much. Kumarji, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. My question is going to be quick. I'm a little confused. I've been going through the PIO to OCI conversion for my kids. The note 3, is that only for the application form or the attached documents that we need to give, which is the passport and the PIO? Do we need to get that also notarized, or is just the application form that needs to be notarized?
Only the supporting documents. Not
so
the
there are
form,
like so many pages.
PIO.
Not the PIO. Okay. But so there's so many pages of which everything has to be notarized at that point, right? Of the printouts that we take of the supporting documents. If I'm giving the passport, they're like 30, 40
So
pages.
just go through the checklist, and only those documents which needs to be notarized are to be notarized, not all the documents.
Okay.
It's clearly written. The documents which need to be notarized, it is written in the bracket.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sajiji. Next. Okay.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you. I had a question of this for my son. When he was born, we took a e-tourist visa for him, thinking that we'll be going to India the next year. Then the pandemic hit. So that e-tourist visa was then cancelled. Now, the OCI process will take, from what I've heard now, it's taking about 6 to 8 weeks. So we were thinking of planning for entry visa, the X visa. Now, we heard a couple of days back or a week back that this is opened. Is it been opened up, or is it still only on an emergency basis? That is the first question. After that, I'll have a second question too, but that's the first question. Is that entry visa opened up, or is it still not opened?
You go and visit our website.
Yeah.
I've tried to, but yeah, sorry.
It was answered.
I don't know what answer do you need. We are telling you that this is only in emergencies we will issue visa.
Understood.
If you want to apply, then apply. But if you want to tell me that no, you can. It is open. Please go ahead and apply for emergency. That advice I should not give.
Yes.
No, Sajiji, I'm sorry, I joined it late.
Sajiji, this was the first bullet item. Anyway, go ahead. The second question.
The second question is for this my son's OCI. If we take the OCI route, there is a lot of supporting requirement of the address proof. So on the address proof, can my address proof be given? Because obviously there are no documents with his address there, right? And I've tried to ask the VFS through email, etc., not gotten a response. That's why I'm asking here.
I don't think that you have visited the website and seen the documentary checklist. For minors, it's clearly written that what are the documents required, and of course the parents' address proof will be accepted. The minors will not have electricity bills in their names.
Right. Oh, fair enough. Thanks. If I've missed it, I'll check it again. Thank you.
Srinivas.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, do you hear me? Yeah. So my son is 11 years old, and we have OCI card. So we got recently the passport, new passport. So you said that you have to update into the OCI website, right? The new passport number. What is the website where we can update the passport?
The module is getting developed. It will be ready by June end, and we will inform through our social media platforms and through our website.
Thank you. Again, I want to request one more time. There are lots of questions has been already answered in the respect to the time and respect to consular time also. Please at least check the questions that has been already answered. Ask the new question that will be much more efficient, please. Thank you.
Also, if you already asked your question, please lower your hand so that we don't call on you again.
Yeah, Nayanji.
Hi, this is Nayan. I have just one fundamental question. I have few more questions, but anyway, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So question is about the photograph or for OCI applications. There are, I mean, I'm about to apply for my OCI, but the photographs criteria is many a times I am hearing that it gets rejected. So do you recommend any specific shop or anything like that? Because when I go and check with CVS pharmacies and Walgreens, they said that it's a very standard passport size photograph 2x2. That's it.
I think you have not even started the process. So if you start the process at the initial stage itself, it shows the dimensions, it shows the pixels, it shows the size. You have to just take a picture of that, or you take a picture and convert that into that size.
Right. Thank you.
For OCI applications, you need to upload your photo on the OCI portal. And the specifications are clearly mentioned there. So you really don't need to go to FedEx and CVS to get that photo clicked. And I mean, basically, we need a photo which will fulfill those conditions mentioned on the portal.
Thank you. Richa ji. Richa ji.
Yeah, hi. I just missed few beginning minutes of the conversation. So I'm sorry if this was already repeated. I have two parts. A couple of first statements are just for clarification. And the second part would be a question. So I understand that do I correctly understand that the VFS portal is not open right now for a new OCI card? That's what I would be doing. Is that right? It's not open right now. And did I understand it right that it's going to be open by June end?
No, that is a different thing. That is for, renewal of OCI cards and renewal of new passports and sending that data to India and uploading that data on the US on the MHA portal so that we know that this person has a new passport. The OCI applications are open. You can apply through VFS.
Okay. Now the second part, I actually heard that you guys said that I do not need to send my original US passport when I'm applying for my OCI for the first
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so that's all I wanted to clarify. Now I have a question. I'm sorry if this was already covered because I missed first few minutes. My question is, how do I get the renunciation certificate? I do have the canceled passport of the Indian passport, canceled Indian passport, but I do not have a paper document saying that I have renounced Indian citizenship. How do I go about getting it? Or can I go without that certificate?
No, you have to apply for renunciation certificate.
Can you guide me how to do that? Is there a website? If you something?
Yeah, please go to VFS website. They have the renunciation tab and you can apply on the renunciation.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Narahari ji. We have only 2 minutes to go to complete it. So kindly do it quickly, please. Narahari ji.
Just we are citizens, me and my wife, American citizens.
Narahari ji, we are not hearing you.
Me and my wife are American citizens. I would like to apply for OCI card, but we don't have our original Indian passports. We have the renunciation certificate. Is that enough to apply for OCI?
I'm not able to answer the question, but I understand that he doesn't have Indian passport, but he has a renunciation certificate with him.
Yes.
Yes, he can apply for OCI with that.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
And thank you. And somebody has iPhone. Please go ahead. These are last questions. Hello, iPhone.
Many people have iPhone.
Yeah. If not, let me ask you one question here because this is a little bit elderly fellow, so we need to basically respect him. I applied for a new OCI on behalf of my father, who is 90 years old. In February, he had surrendered his Indian passport and gotten the surrender certificate. We sent all the document to VSF. After a few sending few additional document, age, certified, etc., etc. They felt the application was complete and forwarded to the embassy. After 2.5 months, we received an email saying that application is in hold for want of proof of Indian origin. We're not sure how to proceed that one.
Again, this is very specific question. I think we have to see the documents.
Okay, good enough.
Then only we can answer.
Yeah, Ram Riangari, sorry, if you are in the chat here, please at least provide your application information to Minagaru. We will at least provide it to consular office. Thank you.
Ninanji, you can collect all those application numbers which you received, and then we'll look into all those applications and we'll respond.
Okay. So,
yeah, I'm noting everything now.
Thank you very much. First of all, anybody has any last minute, burning question, we're going to close now. Otherwise, okay.
I have a question about filling the application.
Okay, quickly, please ask.
Yeah. So, in the government application form for OCI, does both minor as well as one of the parents need to sign?
No, we require both the parents to sign.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, first of all, I like to basically, on behalf of the temple again, I really like to, thank two of you, basically Sinha Saab and Murugesan Saab. You are basically, I know you are basically working overtime here from 6 to 8 p.m. And it is probably, I requested you to be the two hours and you are really here. I know you have to at least, go home and take care of your own family. You are spending lots of time here. I like to also offer you that, Chairman Garu left, but he actually offer you that thank you and with a sincere thanks from him. And at the same time, we also like to at least invite you to our temple and, have it here. Hopefully we can someday, we can have some kind of arrangement in a temple and a live. I'm sure you will like it. And I know both of you very well. You have always spent so much of time for all the Indian community here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And at the same time, I'd like to thank all the temple, officer here, Balagaru, Satyendra Garu, and Hari Garu, and also Mani Garu, and also Minagaru here, because they have basically really worked very well for organizing these conferences. I'm sure and behind this, a lot of people also worked here. So does your team actually, I'm sure somebody else, also, a lot of people actually work to help this set it up. Thank you very much. I hope at least, everyone in the conference has learned a lot of things today from both OCI and passport renewal and visas, and many other additional questions also were answered very clearly. We have, obviously you got all the application number, what to be done. If anybody has any other question, please again send it to the chat, and then Minagaru will copy all the chat. Minagaru, you can copy all the chat questions, right?
Sir, I just have a question for Sinha, sir, that I visit your website sometimes and I see those flyers for yoga and this time like times per week or something. Is there a way we can sign up on the consulate website where we get these events and we can participate and share with friends and families?
So please follow our social media handles, India in New York, and we are the handle is India in New York. It is available we are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. So if you follow our handle, you will get all the updates. Most of the events are open for all. So you are most welcome to participate in many of these events. But right now we do not encourage mailing lists, because ultimately, if you start getting too many mails from one particular email, you don't really notice it. So thank you for interest.
Yes, we will follow your. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again, Sinha Saab and
thank you.
Saab. Anyone else? Satya Garu, are you still there? Balagaru, you're still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, well,
I'm going to stop the recording right now.
I'm going to stop it now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you once again. Have a very good evening to all of you.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.